we are now set on a path of job creation.
The Prime Minister talks jobs. Plus, the face-off for the F&M chairmanship race. And we have an update on the CLICO payout. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
With unemployment a concern, job creation is a priority of the Christie administration. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charisma Robinson.
I'm Kishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Topping the news, the nation's leader, Prime Minister Perry Christie, says his focus is on bringing to fruition thousands of job opportunities in the pipeline. He admits that many Bahamians have grown impatient waiting for those opportunities, but he says his administration is working on a strategic plan which will provide more secure jobs for Bahamians. Clint Watson has more.
Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie says over the next year, his government will be on a path to create jobs throughout the country.
As opposed to just creating jobs as a stimulus, what we're doing is trying to create an enduring position for someone. That is, you're trained, you're likely to have a lasting job, and it's important. And so we are now set on a path of job creation, but training will be connected to it.
According to the Prime Minister, all political organizations should have a shared vision for the growth of the economy. To that end, he's been busy making interventions to ensure the financial services industry is stabilized and placed on a footing to grow, thus creating more jobs.
We are grappling with issues of competitiveness, being able to match what other jurisdictions are doing, being able to survive the challenges that have come to the banking world, to be able to conform by getting new products. And we've looked at places like Mexico and Latin America, Brazil, and we've designed new products. And that's important, to be able to stay relevant, to be able to match the needs of new markets, and to be able to therefore to sustain what has been a good way of life for the people of the financial services industry.
Mr. Christie says at a time when the International Monetary Fund revised the Bahamas' growth level, projecting a sluggish path between the projected 2.5% growth, his administration has been taking into consideration significant opportunities present with foreign direct investment proposals to jumpstart the economy.
Proposals that the government has approved to encourage the implementation in the shortest possible time, like here in Abaco, like continuing in Grand Bahama, continuing in Bimini, continuing in Ilustra, continuing in Exuma. And so these are matters that we have to deal with and to ensure that the people of these islands are able to be meaningfully employed and to be meaningfully employed as entrepreneurs. So not just as workers, but the owners of business. And so, look, it's work in progress.
As to those thousands of jobs on the whole of the Bahama Resort, Mr. Christie says they continue to press every day for the Chinese government to make a decision on the buyer to the resort so it can be completed and open in the shortest possible time, putting scores of Bahamians to work. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Thanks so much, Clint. Although the Bahamas was listed in the Panama Papers as number 3 in the world for money laundering and as a haven for tax evasion, Central Bank Governor John Roll is satisfied that financial institutions in the country follow world standards and are compliant. He said government has also passed crucial pieces of legislation to ensure that the proper safeguards are in place. Governor Roll, however, stressed that although client information must be confidential, it must not be used as a cover-up for criminal activity.
One of the lessons with the leak of the papers is that it takes the attention back again to making sure that your systems are secure and periodically reviewed. The other thing that is important to mention is that there are systems in place, information exchange arrangements, etc., where our financial institutions and the Bahamas does cooperate with foreign regulators, foreign tax authorities, where there are specific requests for information. So from that point of view, the fact that information is held in confidentiality within the jurisdiction is not a screen or a barrier to access the information when it is needed in cases where foreign tax authorities or foreign investigative authorities are trying to get information from our country on matters that they're investigating. And for that purpose, the Bahamas has more than 24 tax information exchange agreements. We also have.
Tomorrow evening, Free National Movement members will elect a new party chairman. This following the resignation of Michael Pintard last month.
Pintard stepped down after he was linked to the alleged murder-for-hire probe in the Bacon-Nygaard saga. However, he maintains that his resignation is no admission of guilt.
Now, meantime, the party has a void to fill, and a former parliamentarian and activist will go ahead in that contest. Janae Noel Ferguson takes a look.
The race is on for the chairmanship of the Free National Movement. Sidney Colley and Rodney Moncur will go up against each other Thursday evening. Colley has served at every post in the FNM except leader. Activist Rodney Moncur has also had a colorful political life. He once led the now defunct Workers' Party, and in 2012 he lost in the Bain and Grantstown constituency as a candidate for the Democratic National Alliance.
So this flip-flop talk is really idle propaganda. You have to judge the man by his character. I'm not a gangster. I've not been in any form of corruption or scandal. I don't know Peter Nygaard nor Louis Bacon. I'm the best man. Just put aside branding.
I have a 12-point plan that will take us from the day following the election of chairman to the day we proclaim victory in the general election. And if I am not successful, as I said, I've been with the party for 44 years or thereabouts, and I'm not going anywhere.
What do you think of your
My 100% commitment is to the Free National Movement.
Now, Pintard's resignation surrounded the Peter Nygaard, Louis Bacon controversy. Moncur suggested that Colley would not be suitable as he served as Nygaard's attorney. Colley was quick to clarify this notion.
In 2008, Peter Nygaard hired me to apply to the government for a lease of some Krang land, accreted Krang land adjacent to his private land in Lyford Key. Lease was denied, and in the process the government provided me with a copy of a letter which they had written to Mr. Nygaard. Mr. Nygaard requested that I sue the government. I refused to sue the government. Mr. Nygaard fired me on the spot.
Now, FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis has publicly backed Colley for the chairmanship post. Moncur believes it is an unfair advantage.
Dr. Minnis has made some errors. But I'm trying to be a unifier. I'm trying not to focus on personality.
And on the state of the party.
It is very, very fractured.
The party is not fractured.
We need to mend the cracks and the rifts. And you need new blood. The FNM is too incestuous.
There's been differences of opinion, differences with regards to how things ought to be done. And we as a family within the FNM, we're working on those differences.
Now, the vote for chairman takes place Thursday evening at 6:30 at the FNM headquarters on Mackey Street. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.